Are you a uni student? Would you like to own your own property instead of actually renting somewhere and paying someone else's mortgage? That's right. With the Buy for Uni, you can actually own your own property. If you want to know more, watch this video, and please share, subscribe, and if this is something that you're interested in. So who am I? My name is Amanda. I call myself the mortgage coach because I combine financial education with mortgage advice, and I have helped hundreds of first-time buyers. Now let's get into it. The Buy for Uni. Now, the Buy for Uni is for university students. It's a residential product, so what that means is you are actually buying your own home, i.e., stamp duty exemption, which is the tax that you have to pay. You will have the exemption of that, the first 425,000. And because it's a residential, it is treated like a residential mortgage rather than a buy-to-let, which is when you don't live there and you rent it out to tenants. And obviously you've got the residential when you do live there and you don't rent it out. Now with this is a hybrid. So you say, for example, you bought a 4-bed house, 1 bedroom you would live there and the other 3 you could rent out to other students to help pay the mortgage. Now, when we're looking at affordability, the way it works is it goes on a joint borrower sole proprietor basis. Now, what joint borrower means, what it means, more than one person is borrowing. Sole proprietor means only one person owns. So you could go on the mortgage, for example, with your parents. So when they look at the affordability and they work out how much you have to pay, what can happen is sometimes the rental income doesn't cover the whole of the mortgage. That doesn't matter in this situation because you can actually use some of your parents' income to cover the difference. Now, when they're assessing your parents, what they would do is they'd find out what your parents' mortgage balance is, what credit cards commitments they've got, and what income they've got. And then they would do a comparison between their credit commitments and their income, and whatever was left over could be put towards the actual rental income you're getting from the property to act for affordability. So that's really great, isn't it? The next thing to look at is the deposit. Now, you can actually get 100%, that's right, 100% mortgage. That means you don't need any deposit at all whatsoever. So that's one great thing. Or if you did want to put down the standard 20% deposit, that also isn't a problem. They'd happily accept that. You could also put a second charge on your parents' property, which just means that on their property they would have their first charge, which is their mortgage, and then they'd have their second charge, which is 20% of the value of this house that you're purchasing. Then, or what you could do is the equivalent of 20% of the property that you're purchasing could also be in savings. Now those savings would have to be, it's like an offset mortgage, those savings would have to be put in the same account, in the same bank, I mean, as the person that's doing the mortgage for you. So the lender that's doing the mortgage also does savings, and that savings would have to be kept with the same bank. So it's kind of a contra off. You've got savings, you've got a mortgage, and that's the way that works. The other good thing about it is you can do it on either interest only or capital and repayment. Now the difference between that is capital and repayment is you're actually paying off the principal loan. So say your mortgage was £200,000, you'd be paying off some of that £200,000 every single month, and you'd also be paying the interest. Or you could opt for interest only. Now sometimes that helps with affordability. If the property isn't a 4-bed and it's a 3-bed and you're only renting out 2 rooms, or it's a 2-bed and you're only renting out 1 room and you haven't got that much coming in, you may only want to do interest only initially, and then you can maybe look at doing something later on. The other brilliant thing about it is there are no early repayment charges. Now you worry that if you go to university and you buy a property and then a couple of months down the line for some reason it doesn't work out and you don't want to be at that uni anymore and you don't want a property there, you don't need it anymore, because there's no early repayment charges. You could literally just sell that property after a few months and do it somewhere else. So yeah, if you got a transfer to a different uni and you wanted to buy somewhere else, there's no early repayment charges, so you paying back that mortgage at any time doesn't cost you anything. So if you've got any more questions about this product, it's called a buy for uni. And as I said, it's for university students to buy their first property, and they can rent out rooms to their friends or to other students that aren't their friends, anyone with money really, and actually use that to pay their mortgage. But at the end of it, they have a property that's being funded by students, and they get to carry on at uni. I mean, I know how much I spent when I was at uni on rent at halls of residence, and then after that renting houses. I mean, I literally bought when I graduated from uni, but if there'd been this product, I would have literally bought the day I wouldn't have even gone into the halls of residence, because you have to pay for that nowadays as well. I would have literally bought somewhere. So I think it's a great product. And please, 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 if you've got any questions, just let me know, and I will answer them. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.